Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for joining us today. The 10th canto and chapter 60. Amazing chapter actually. So let's make a start on it. I want to seek your good wishes and your blessings so that we can delve into the nectar of the Bhagavatam. So this is in verse of this chapter 59th verse of chapter 60.
Tatanya shamapi vibhu griheshi grihavan iva astito griha mediyan dharmam loka gurur hari. Translation: the Almighty Lord Hari, receptor of all the worlds, similarly behaved like a conventional householder in the palaces of his other queens, performing the religious duties of a family man.
Amazing. He comes when he comes. He does glorious activities, but he also does the normal activities of a family man, grihastha, which is quite extraordinary. So this chapter is called Lord Krishna teases Queen Kunti, and it's how he provokes anger in Rookmani, not Queen Kunti, with joking words, and then consoled her, thus demonstrating the opulence of a lover's quarrel. So one day, Lord Krishna sat at ease in Queen Rookmani's bedroom while she and her maidservants attended to him in various ways. Queen Rookmani's quarters were extremely beautiful, boasting a canopy hung with brilliant strings of pearls, as well as effulgent jewels serving as lamps. Garlands of jasmine and other flowers hung there and here and there, attracting swarms of humming bees, and the spotless rays of the moonshine through the holes of the lattice windows. As aguru incense drifted out of the window holes, the breeze carried the scent of the parijat grove from the garden into the room. So there you go, the parijat flower again. So there the queen served her husband, the Lord, Supreme Lord of all the worlds, as he reclined upon an opulent pillow on her bed, which is as soft and white as the foam of milk. So just to get an idea, there you go. There's a very interesting picture of Krishna reclining on this sofa and chilling out. And Rukmini Devi got chamara in her hand, fanning the Lord. Okay. So, from her maidservant's hand, Goddess Rukmini took a yak-tail fan with a jeweled handle. She began to worship her master by fanning him. Her hand adorned with rings and bangles and the chamara fan, Queen Rukmini looked resplendent, standing near Lord Krishna. Her jeweled ankle bells tinkled, and her necklace glittered, reddened by the kumkum from her chest. On her hips, she wore a priceless belt. Rukmini always responded to Sri Krishna's moods, whatever they might be. On this occasion, the Lord looked at Rukmini, whose beauty was faultless, and began to tease her. So, this is really very humorous, actually. Previously, many wealthy kings, so this is Krishna telling Rukmini, previously, many wealthy kings worthy of you in their appearance and character wanted to marry you, right? So you also list them out, like Shishupal and others. In fact, your father and brother intended to give you in marriage to Shishupal. Now, Krishna is he's many things, right? Cowherd boy. He's in the Vaish, if you like, caste. And Shishupal was in the Kshatriya caste. So that's the more superior caste. So she's teasing her. He was worthy of marrying. Why then did you accept such an unsuitable husband as me, who once renounced my kingdom and fled to the sea in fear of Jarasandha. So Krishna's saying, you know, I ran away from Mathura in fear. I'm a coward. I was not worthy of your hand. Women are usually destined to suffer when they stay with men whose behavior is uncertain. So Krishna is degrading himself. And who pursue a path not approved by society. Besides, I transgress worldly morality. I've got many girlfriends. And I tell lies and I steal. And because I own nothing, of course, that's absolutely true. He doesn't have any material possessions. He has no contact with this material world. I am dear, and everything he's saying actually is very true, right? And we'll see that later. I am dear to other paupers. So because I have nothing, those who have nothing, they also approach me. I attract those people. And, you know, what's the point of having paupers as your followers? Like Sudama, you know, we'll see him later. He's a pauper. He comes and worships me. What's the big deal? I'm not very worthy. Certainly, the well-to-do would not worship one such as me. Because Krishna's mood is, if somebody approaches him, he might just take everything away from that person in order to make him close to Krishna, of course, which is the greatest wealth. Marriage and friendship are proper between two people who are equal in terms of their wealth, etc. But you didn't realize this. You're in ignorance, and therefore you chose me as your husband, even though I have no good qualities. Of course, he's talking about material qualities. And am glorified only by deluded beggars. This is really quite humorous. How he's teasing her. Now, your brother Rookman and kings like Shishupal, they all hate me. And it was only to cut down their pride that I kidnapped you. I didn't really care. I just wanted to make sure their pride reduced. But as for such things as body, home, wife, and children, I am indifferent to them, being the self-satisfied personality of God, transcendental to all material affairs. Now, this was pretty shocking for Rookman, right?
I think he's the biggest teaser, isn't he? Biggest teaser.
It's terrible. Problem is, everything he's saying is true.
Prabhuji?
Yes, Nariman.
Yes. Any particular reason for this teasing Rookmani?
Yeah, she was so nice. She's so perfect in her behavior. And you know what Krishna's like? He likes to bring out the worst in everybody. And that means he wants to bring out the best in everybody. He just wanted to have a fight. He just wanted to have a fight. He likes that. He likes a bit of humor, a bit of... he doesn't like everything, you know, done just perfectly. He likes a little masala in there, a little bit of, you know, anger, a little bit of a fight. Everything, like Vishnu, he likes everything in perfect order. Timing has to be spot on. The worship has to be spot on. But Krishna is the other way around. He's never on time. When somebody's worshiping him, you know, the Indra will have great words of, oh no, the Ashwini twins, Nal Kuvera and Manigriva, they had amazing prayers they were reciting, and he was playing with the tree or the mortar. He doesn't care for these prayers, doesn't care for these things. So he doesn't care for great worship. Rukmini was worshipping him as if, you know, he is the master, and he doesn't necessarily like that. So he wanted to invoke some mischievousness in Rukmini as well. Does that make sense, Naliban?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, he's
Prabhuji.
Sorry?
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Was it that Rukmani Devi was a little bit proud
Yeah.
and he wanted to get rid of this pride?
Yeah. That was another reason as well. Yeah.
Good. Very good point. little proud that Krishna is only with me, right? Something like that.
I'm his
Yes.
favorite.
I'm his favorite wife.
Yes.
I'm his first wife. So, okay, I'll carry on. Sri Krishna stopped speaking, having destroyed Rukmini Devi's confidence that she was her husband's favorite. Oh yeah, that's it. Well done. Goddess Rukmini had never before heard such unpleasantries from her beloved, the Lord of the universal rulers, and she became frightened. A tremor arose in her heart, and in terrible anxiety, she began to cry. She was thinking, I'm going to lose Krishna. He's saying he doesn't want me. With her tender foot, she scratched the ground face downward, her voice choked up by extreme sorrow. She became stunned in extreme fear, pain and sadness, and fell unconscious. So Krishna didn't expect that either. Krishna saw that she had misunderstood his joking, and thus he felt compassion for her. Manifesting 4 arms, he picked her up from the floor and caressed her face, consoled her, whose mind was bewildered by his clever joking, and who did not deserve to suffer so. Okay. I know, so Krishna is saying to Rukmini, I know you are totally dedicated to me. It was only out of eagerness to see your lotus face adorned with a frown that I teased you. So he likes to see his devotees with a little, don't just always smiling, not just always in awe and reverence of him. Do not be displeased with me. I know that you are fully devoted to me. I only spoke in jest, dear lady, because I wanted to hear what you would say. To joke with one's beloved is the highest enjoyment for householders. These words dispelled Rukmini's fear of rejection. Then, seeing Lord Krishna had spoken only in jest, she gave up her fear that the Lord was going to reject her and went on to show how everything Krishna has said, denigrating himself, was actually glorification. She said, actually, what you have said is true. We are mismatched after all. No one is equal to you, the omnipotent master of the 3 principal deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And I am a woman of mundane qualities. You lay down within the ocean as if afraid of the material modes. And thus in pure consciousness, you appear within the heart as a super soul. So it's true. Whatever he said is true. He ran away and went to the ocean. Indeed, even your servants reject the privilege of royal dominion, which leads to the blindness of ignorance. So yes, your servants are also very poor by choice. They don't want anything but your lotus feet. They know the dangers of gold. Just as your activities are transcendental, O powerful Lord, so too are those of your followers. You possess nothing because there is nothing beyond you. Yeah, you don't have anything material. You don't need it. Even the great enjoyers of tribute, Brahma and the other demigods, pay tribute to you. Those who are blinded by their wealth and absorbed in gratifying their senses do not recognize you because you come to them in the form of death. Desiring to attain you, intelligent persons abandon everything else. It is they who are worthy of your association, not men and women absorbed in the pleasure and grief resulting from their mutual lust. So she's addressing the point where he's saying that I'm just glorified by beggars. Desiring to attain you, intelligent persons abandon everything else. Oh, still that one. You are so gracious that you give away even your own self. I choose you as my husband. What interest then could I have in any other suitor? This is the most glorious thing about Krishna. He gives himself to whoever gives to him. He gives himself. He's completely devoted to his devotee. And he'll do anything for his devotee. Even lie for his devotee. He'll thief for his devotee. He'll do anything. You drove off the assembled kings with the resounding twang of your sharang bow, and you did not take shelter in the ocean out of fear of these kings. Wanting your association, the best of kings, Ang, Vainya, Jayanta, now Husa, Gaya, and others, they abandoned their sovereignty and entered the forest to seek you out. Yeah, they're beggars because they were kings and they left everything. The aroma of your lotus feet awards people liberation and is the abode of Goddess Lakshmi. What woman would take shelter of any man after savoring that aroma? May your feet, lotus feet, which give freedom from illusion by approaching their worshipper, give shelter to me who have been wandering from one material situation to another. O infallible Krishna, let each of the kings you named become the husband of a woman whose ears have never heard of your glories. After all, in the households of such women, these kings live like asses, oxen, dogs, cats, and slaves. Though you are satisfied within yourself and thus rarely turn your attention towards me, please bless me with steady love for your lotus feet. So these are phenomenal prayers. An intelligent man should not keep an unchaste wife, for if he does, he will lose his good fortune both in this life and the next. So, whatever Krishna said, she said, yes, you're absolutely right, what you just said. But you may have no interest in me, but let me just be at your lotus feet. Lord Krishna then spoke to Rookmani with deep affection. I deceived you only to hear you speak wonderfully like this. Whatever benedictions you hope for in order to become free of material desires are forever yours, for you are my unalloyed devotee. So this was the real reason why. I mean, yes, she may have been somewhat proud, but what he wanted to invoke in her was this different aspect of not just having awe and reverence, but actually talking to him on a one-to-one basis, on an equal basis, if you like. He relishes that. He doesn't like it when he is worshipped. He likes it when he's treated like the Bijbasis treat him. One of my own. You are mine, Krishna. I have now seen firsthand the pure love and chaste attachment you have for me. I did not intend to agitate your mind with my joking words. Rather, I wanted to demonstrate the strength of your chastity. Anyone who prays to me for sense gratification and happiness in family life is simply deluded by my illusory energy, Maya. Why? Because I have the power to award spiritual liberation. I can give so much, and you want just some little dirt. I can give you diamonds. Such a person will take a low birth. Ordinary women with corrupt desires cannot possibly worship me faithfully as you have done. At the time of your marriage, you showed no interest in any of the royal suitors. Rather, you sent a Brahmin messenger for me. In all my palaces, I can find no other wife as loving as you. Thus, you are certainly most beloved of all my consorts. When your brother Rookman, who had been defeated in battle and then disfigured, was later killed due to a gambling match on Aniruddha's wedding day, you felt unbearable grief. Yet out of fear of losing me, you spoke not a word. By this silence, you have conquered me. So often we will see in our lives things happen and you think, why did that possibly happen? How can that happen? How can that be good for me? Because we know Krishna can only do good for us. But sometimes we think, how does that work? So at that time, we remain silent. We don't understand the Lord's plan, we remain silent. like Rookmani remained silent when Rookmani was killed. And that way we conquer the Lord. In this way, the Lord of the universe, Sri Krishna, took pleasure in joking with the goddess of fortune in her form as Rookmani. And in a similar fashion, he fulfilled all the duties of a householder in each palace of his other queens. So this is an incredible chapter, really one of the most incredible chapters, because it's such incredible dialogue between Krishna and his devotee. So this is Rukmini Devi's Dwarkadish, the temple in Dwarka.
No, that's the Rookman temple.
Oh, the Rukmini temple. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's the entrance to that temple. This is a special temple just for Rukmini, outside of Dwarka, right?
Just outside.
And this is the deity in that place. And this is Shri Rukmini Dwarkadish in Los Angeles. Very beautiful. Prabhupada installed. Unique Rukmini Dwarkadish in America. All right. Any questions, any comments?
How can you tell the difference between Rukmini Mataji and Radharani? Because if I looked at that, I think that'd be Radha and Krishna.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You're absolutely spot on. And the way the worship is done in like Hare Krishna movement, how Prabhupada established it, it's a little bit formalized, you know, it's like if they're Radha Krishna, it's still a little bit like the worship of Rukmini Dwarkadish. It's formalized. Yeah. But it's a good question, Aruna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Very fascinating. It's just mind-blowing.
It's extraordinary. It's how you can see Krishna's personality shine through, you know. So,
Testing you.
yeah, testing, teasing.
Teasing.
So we're in for a bit of a bumpy ride in this material world, but it's worth it because it's Krishna's whatever he wants, you know.
Yes, we still can't let go of him.
Yeah. And this is what he gives him pleasure, you know, when you go through the rides, the tough challenges, and you don't forget, you don't forsake, you don't curse him.
No, never. Krishna's mercy. You'll say Krishna wishes.
Krishna wishes. And whatever it is we thank him. Thank you, my dear Lord. Yes. This crazy thing has happened. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's hard. Of course, it's hard to do that, but we do it. We do it. We thank him for everything.
Prabhuji,
Yes, Naniman.
as Krishna tells her that you are my favorite wife, is that true?
I think he says that to all the 16,000.
Yes, that's what
108 wives. It's like when we go to the school, you know, I always tell them, you are my favorite school. You're the best kids. I've never seen kids like you before. I tell that to everyone. And then occasionally I say that, you know, actually I tell this to all the schools, but you really are my best, you know. So
Yeah, that makes sense. Because in this being transcendental, he can't have this favoritism or liking or not liking, isn't it? He's above all that.
Yeah.
That's another point.
That's another point. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
Navi Prabhu, I've got something that I can share if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, sure.
If Krishna brings you to it, Krishna will bring you through it. Happy moments praise Krishna, difficult moments seek Krishna. Quiet moments worship Krishna, painful moments trust Krishna. Every moment thank Krishna. Radhe Shyam, Radhe Krishna ki jai.
That's really good. Why don't you post that? Type it out and post it somewhere.
Okay, I will.
That's a really nice, because that gives devotees some nectar, you know. That's really.
This is on my in my kitchen on the wall where I see it every day. It reminds me that just do what you have to do.
So when you're
Haribol.
burning your offering,
No, my burning doesn't happen because I'm trusting in
oh
Krishna.
man, he likes
Trusting
burnt
in-
offerings. He doesn't.
Okay, Haribol.
Why do I say he likes burnt offerings? Because I always burn my offerings. No, only joke. Anybody else? Naniben, anything else?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. And Surinder, anything you'd like to share?
Hare Krishna, Dandavat
Thank you
Prabhu,
for joining.
Haribol.
Thank you for joining. It's nice.
Yes, Prabhu. Sri Nityananda Chandram Patita Sharanadam Gauradam Tam Bhajeham. Yes, very wonderful Krishna Leela, Prabhu. Excellent. Yes, and well explained by you. And also, we would like to mention that in Vrindavan, the Brajavasis, especially Srimati Radharani and the Gopis, they are serving Krishna in Madhura Ras called Parakya Ras. In Madhura Ras, there is two aspects. The Parakya Ras means Paramour, and Srimati Radharani is topmost. And then in Dwarka, the queens of Krishna, they're also serving in Madhura Ras, but their Madhura Ras is called Swakiya Ras. So there are two types, like Radharani's is Parakya Ras, and Rookmani, Satyabhama, Jambavati, etc. They are Swakiya Ras, the married wife of Krishna. And they are very exalted devotees, especially Satyabhama. She representing Srimati Radharani in Dwarka Lila. And therefore the appearance of Satyabhama in Chaitanya Lila is Jagadananda Pandit. And Jagadananda Pandit has written Prema Vivarta, and which is all about the love for the Lord, Krishna consciousness. So it is highly recommended by a Guru Varga to study Prema Vivarta, which explains it is condensed instructions given to us by Jagadananda Pandit for our spiritual benefit. Yes, Prema Vivarta. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Nitai Gaura Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very, very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Madhusudan Prabhu.
Jai Haribol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, again, another wonderful revelations, that come out from about Krishna's qualities and what he does. So this chapter is amazing. His tendency to tease a bit and also. So yeah, I'll go through the instructions. Yeah, so in this chapter, we learn of Krishna's art of teasing and joking in order to provoke loving anger in Rookmani, and then his expertise in pacifying and consoling her also. Seeing that his beloved was so bound to him in love that she could not understand the full meaning of his teasing, merciful Lord Krishna felt compassion for her. So not only does consoling, he starts to show compassion as well. And in doing so, we learn how Krishna reveals how ones with wealth, power, opulence do not worship him, but rather he says that we have no good qualities. He himself is saying, I got no qualities. No, why only beggars come and, they're the deluded beggars. They come and glorify me. So, and kings like Shishupal, Salva, Jarasan, Dantavakra, they all hate me. Oh, beautiful title. And so does your elder brother Rookman. So there you are, with people in position of power and all that, never actually want to accept the supremacy of the Lord. And they kind of, go as far as hating him, but, if you're a total atheist and then agnostic, and so you don't accept the supremacy of the Lord, but there's so many gray areas in between, but on one extreme, then it was to dispel the arrogance of these kings that are carried you away, my good woman, for they are blinded by the intoxication of power. So Krishna is saying how power can be so intoxicating. My purpose was to curb the strength of the wicked. So he does come and curb their strength in a way.
Mhm.
So we've seen that, happening with Indra yesterday and Bomasur, and to the extreme to which they go to use their power and control and all that and opulences. But as Sukadev Goswami says in the verse, to hell with opulences. I was surprised at that phrase, But still very, very nice that we as devotees, relish these kind of qualities in Krishna and pastime, and we don't get kind of drawn or attracted to all the different opulences of people or powers, and we try to admire Krishna's actually. So amazing. Yeah, Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So any other questions, any comments? Otherwise, we can pray to Lord Nrsimhadev for his sweet protection so that we can continue with our service of Radha and Krishna. There are a few devotees to mention. So Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Actually, we can learn from Krishna the way we can, you don't do that to your dharma, but wind her up a bit sometimes, do you? We can't do that.
No, you must take the mickey out of each other.
Yeah, at least that's one good quality, I must say, that, you two, and we're a classic example of a constructive relationship.
No, I'm not sure about that.
Well, I think there are, in my book, there are two types of relationship, constructive and destructive ones. Constructive, at least you're helping each other, support and push each other in spiritual life as well, and support each other, praise, you build each other up, that's how I feel.
Thank you very much.
Whereas, some relationship can be kind of, destroying each other.
But as soon
not
as we get
healthy
off this Zoom.
Well, I won't be there to see anything, so it's up to anymore. Well done. Good, good for you both. Thank you anymore.
Krishna is there to witness.
Yeah, he gets very bored. No, it's good. Thank you so much. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.